Hello, welcome to Book World: The Great Escape. I'm author CJ Peterson, and my co-host over here is author Michael Scott Clifton. Today we're going to be talking networking. What is it? How to use it? And all that fun stuff. So in the meantime, Mike, how is the author world, and how has it been to you?
Well, it's slowed down a little bit since I finished my 10th book 2 weeks ago. And as we speak, it's being formatted, and I hope to have it out for publication within the next month. Like I said, it
Ooh,
marks my 10th book. The name of it is The New Year's Man. And more details, I guess we can talk about at some other point. But it is a magical adventure fantasy. I write fantasy, magic adventure. And of course it has a meddlesome fairy godmother, and it's a much like Pringle Prawn and one of my previous books, and it's pretty fun. It was a fun write, and it's a great read. Anyway, have the Arkansas Comic Con coming up middle of September. Hopefully, the temperatures will be a whole lot cooler than they are now. And past that, we have the Longview Art Walk, have the Mount Pleasant Deck the Halls coming up. I'll be speaking, I believe it's September the 12th, no, 14th, to the East Texas Writers Guild in Tyler, and covering a topic we've actually covered and talked about here on Book World about the pros and cons of critique groups.
oh,
And
cool.
so looking forward to that. And also looking forward to some cooler weather. If you don't live where CJ and I live in the Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, we have been enduring 100+ degree highs for weeks now,
Weeks.
and doesn't look like there's any end in sight anytime soon. So hopefully, one of these episodes we do in the book world in the not too distant future will be under less than 100-degree high temperatures.
That
So
would be nice. The ground is even like cracking. The cracks are like this wide.
yeah, it's we've had some. Reminds me of 2011, which if you've lived here in Texas and you had to go through 2011, you don't ever want to go through that time again. Set the all-time record for consecutive days with 100+ temperatures and drought and wildfires, which we're starting to see too. So
Hmm.
anyway, if you live where you're getting rain and it's cooler than 100 degrees, you should celebrate.
There you go. Well, in my world, we have this weekend, we have Piney Woods Comic Con. I'll give you a quick sneak peek in who we have for guests. The guests we have Peter Dante. You would know him from a lot of the Adam Sandler movies. He'll be there. We have Vic Mignogna, Steve Staley, and we have down here Michael Sorich, some famous voice actors that you would know. And then Design David is a famous artist. They have celebrities. We have vendors. The celebrities will also have panels. We have vendors. They bring it every single time. They will have tons and tons of artist type stuff that's there. We have gaming will be there. Kids 12 and under. Let's look at the tickets real quick. Kids 12 and under will free. Teens 13 to 17 or 15. General admission for adults is 25. There is also some VIP passes. There's a couple different options there. Tickets are on pinywoodscomiccon.com. Where is it located? It is located at Pitzer Garrison Convention Center at 601 North 2nd Street, Lufkin, Texas, 75901. Parking is free. If you want the hours real quick, I will show those to you. There we go. There's your Saturday hours and your Sunday hours. You can check those out. If you need to rewind it later, you can pull them back up. Go for it. But there's your hours for Saturday and Sunday general times. You can check those out. I will be there all weekend. On Saturday, I will be in plain clothes. On Sunday, I will have my Galadriel on. I have revamped my Galadriel. Super excited to be having that. But yes, I will be running around on that Comic-Con floor, and that's down in Lufkin, Texas. Super excited to have that one coming up. I have some books in the works. At least my trilogy will definitely be coming up probably in the spring. Super excited to bring that out. That's my fantasy trilogy, my first one. Super excited. The anthology, that's the group with the kids working on that one. We'll see how soon that one comes out. But my anthology, but the fantasy one with my Magic Making Mischief sisters should be coming out sometime this spring. Super excited about that one. Some other dates to mark your calendar for. We have River Valley Comic Con over in Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's going to be October 31st and November 1st. Side note, which I was just informed by one of my Magic Making Mischief sisters. Did you know that the time change is actually October 31st on Halloween this year?
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Gosh. Good timing.
Extra hour on that weekend. It is on Comic-Con weekend for me. So yeah, it is on River Valley Comic-Con's weekend. So
Saturdays
well, Sunday morning.
It's going to be different than it's Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, but it's Sunday morning at like 1, 2 o'clock is when the clock flips.
So the time you'll have to either
you fall back in the fall.
Coming back, fall back.
You fall back, so you get an extra hour sleep.
So actually the time's the same on Saturday and Sunday, but if you don't adjust your clock between Saturday and Sunday, then you'll either you'll get there an hour later.
Well, you fall back in the fall, so you get an extra hour's sleep. But your phones have been doing it. Your phone should do it automatically.
Yeah. So kind of, I thought that finally we'd come to our senses nationally and just kept daylight savings time.
Okay, I was talking to Mommy about this. Now, if you're going to do it, we need to do it now because the right time is when you fall back in the fall. So don't change it in the spring and we're good.
But it's like I said, yep, I agree with you, but I don't understand why either keep it or do away with it.
Do away with it
not keep it, do away with it. Yeah.
After we change the clock on October 31st, going into the 1st, leave it alone. We're done. I'm fine with it after that. Just leave it alone. We're good. Another rant of mine, I'm saying leave it alone. Don't touch clocks after that.
Yeah. I'm good. You leave it and don't change it anymore. 90% of the population, I'd say 90, probably low, 95% don't want to keep going back and forth between. So anyway.
It just messes with everybody. Leave it alone.
It does.
Okay. So now we're talking marketing or networking. Technically that's marketing. Networking. So the questions people is always like networking. I get the excuses I'm too shy. I don't know how to start it. What do I do with it once I start it? What's the point? Okay, so here's the deal. As an author, you need it. Doesn't matter if you're shy. What do you do with it? Oh, all sorts of things, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so first of all, when I first started, I was like probably the ultimate shyest person you ever are going to meet. But I had a sister who was like the complete opposite. I would literally hide behind the books at the table. I'd let my sister go and do all of the networking and running around the tables.
Seriously, really?
Oh yeah, no, not kidding. Yeah.
Really?
What I would do for my networking is I would take my book. I would still do networking. I just would do it before the doors would open.
Oh, okay.
I would take my book. This is my version of networking, is I would take my book and I would go and I would do book swaps with other authors. And why I would do that would be two reasons. Number one is because I would get a signed author book from that other author. And number two, what I would do is I would post my con stash or my books show stash, and I would be able to tag the other author, and they would be able to tag me, and it would be cross promotions.
I'm still trying to get over that.
Started networking.
You were shy, so
oh my gosh, totally.
Try to wrap my head around that. Yeah.
Like probably the shyest. If you saw my first interviews, I talked so fast I don't understand how they even understood a word I said.
Well, all I can say is that dam has been completely burst open there.
Oh
So,
yeah. And you know how I got over it? These lovely podcasts.
well, I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right?
Mhm,
But the cool thing about networking, you do have to work at it.
mhm,
It's not just going to drop in your lap. And of course, you know this because of all the Comic Cons and book events that you're involved in.
mhm,
Uh, you meet a lot of people at these book events and Comic Cons that that later on those connections help you open the door in other places.
mhm.
And uh, it's it is if you're famous and you're a movie star or someone like that, you don't really need to work hard at it. But if you're an unknown author, which I would say 99% of the authors today are in that category, you have to work at connecting with other people, and in so doing, you're connecting with audiences and potential readers. And if you're not willing to do that, I don't know. I don't guess it really matters how good a writer you are, how good an author you are. It's going to be hard to move your books forward because that kind of shyness that you're talking about, which I still find very hard to believe, uh, uh, you know, doesn't help you promote your book. And well, there's a lot of people we know, right, CJ,
Mhm.
that we both know that have. I know they've helped me.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sure there's been quite a few that have helped you as well. And it's not always necessarily in selling or promoting books. It's sometimes helping and how to write.
Mhm.
Give you suggestions on things that you can do to improve your craft and that sort of thing.
Marketing,
Yes, yeah. Which
finding book shows, finding Comic Cons, finding book tours, finding blog tours, finding all sorts of stuff like that. And
opportunity.
that's,
Yeah,
yeah, finding, even just finding conferences, book conferences to go to, like just to learn from.
yeah, yeah.
There's there's no end into the reason why you network.
Right.
Now, how do you keep it all organized? That's a whole other ball of wax. Sometimes people do it by taking a picture of it and they have a file on their computer. Sometimes people have, there's actual books that you can actually keep business cards in. Sometimes people just literally have a box of business cards. There's no end to how you keep it all organized.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Facebook.
oh, the social media. Yeah, yeah. You know, a lot of not all. A lot of the guests that we have here on Book World, we ran into at book events,
Mhm.
and and I think too, when networking involves also, and we've talked about this on Book World on several episodes as well, on joining writers organizations and things like that, which is that's part of networking, obviously, uh,
Mhm.
and that opens doors, you know, for meeting other people as well, and it's helped me tremendously. It's how we met,
Mhm.
actually,
You know that phrase, "I got a guy."
right?
Well, like Mike has a girl. That would be me. Who does covers? I do formatting. I do uploading of books, which he usually frequently calls me for. I do website design. Guess who designed his website and helps him on the back end frequently? Um, so that's what networking does. Um, there are some authors. Guess who runs Comic Con floors? That would be me. So when you network, you meet people, and those people are people that you want to meet.
Right.
When I first started being an author, I met the person who would be my editor down the road. but she's also my friend. I met her first as my friend, and she ended up being my mentor, and later ended up being my editor, and she still is my editor. Love her. She actually edits as if she's looking over my shoulder and will like mentally slap my wrist and go, "Why did you do that? I told you not to do that a long time ago." Love how she edits. Um, we'll never trade her in, but that friendship has lasted for literally over a decade, and it started off as a friendship. Have never met her in person. Would love to meet her in person someday. But that's how networking works. You meet people online. There are people that I know and have connected and networked with from who knows where, like across the US. I might even know people from like in another country. But that's all networking of, hey, I got a guy. Hey, I got a girl. Hey, I know this person. Hey, have I got the person for you? And you connect people. And that's moving and shaking and connecting people.
Right. I mean, that
And
most,
you don't mess with people who have connected with other people. If you mess with the connection, you never get connected again. That's part of networking. You don't mess with the connections. Just keep
well,
that thought in mind.
we both remember the late Caleb Purtle.
Yes.
And Caleb was very instrumental in my first book getting published, which actually, getting me off the ground, the Treasure Hunt Club. And the thing also that I appreciated about Caleb was the guy had forgotten more about writing books and publishing books than most people claim to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I met him through a writers club, a writers organization, and actually through a writers organization that had a writing contest.
Mm-hmm.
And so Caleb was instrumental in helping me. And of course, CJ, the things that you've helped me with as well, as you mentioned, are instrumental and to me even having more than one book published. And all that happened through networking, meeting people, and maintaining, because that's the other thing, maintaining those contacts,
Mm-hmm.
not something that you only get to you once every 5 years or 3 years. It's maintaining those contacts and making sure they're still healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it can be a little overwhelming at times because um, once you get into the game and you're doing a lot of different things and you're involved with, like you're talking to book clubs and libraries and you're going to book events and Comic Cons, and you're a part of writers organizations where you have meetings every month or something like that. It seems like maybe there's always not enough time in the day or the week or the month to be able to do all those things. But I think with maintaining that network of people that those connections that you make that have helped you, which I also think you pay that back if you're part of a network for someone who may be a beginning author or something like that. The connections they make with you hopefully pay off for them as much as it paid off for me and for you when we first started. Um, and so I think we both agree, if it hadn't been for people that had helped us, that
Mm-hmm.
we ran into, we had a network with, neither one of us would be in a position that we are today. Now, are we making millions and millions of dollars? Well, not yet.
I wish, but no.
But light
Um,
years from where we started, and the networking was essential to that even happening, much less getting us to where we are today.
mhm. Well, and a lot of times it's just a matter of helping those. It's like paying it forward. If you see something in somebody and you want to make sure to try to pay that forward, you just do it. You want to share the knowledge that was shared on set mentoring another author and kind of sharing it, or seeing somebody make a mistake, you're like, "Ooh, no, here, let me help you." You want to make sure that the author community is one of the nicest communities
Yes.
that I've ever run into, and I love that. We want to make sure that everybody is lifted up because we don't want people down here. We're not in it for the competition. We're in it to make sure that everybody's getting their work out. And that's the one of the things I love about the author community is that we want to try, for the most part, there are a few bad apples. We want to try, for the most part, to make sure that everybody succeeds. Because we
Exactly.
want to get the written word out. That is our main goal as an author community in general.
Exactly. It's not. I mean, the point you made. It's really not a competition.
Mm-mm.
Um, you know, when we're at book events, we may be one of a dozen authors that may be there. Everybody's selling books, trying to sell books. At the Author Fest I was at in Greenville 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago, there was over 70 authors, and we've had some of them here on Book World, matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
as guests, and so encouraging them. They don't potential reader comes by, but I'm not really in their genre, magical adventure, fantasy. But hey, I like historical fiction. Well, over there is so and so who writes historical fiction. You should go over there and check out, their books.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean that happens all the time. But I think the networking aspect of being an indie author is essential to not just getting off the ground, but your success moving forward. And I hope that we never become so what's the word I'm searching for? So confident in our own abilities that we don't need to, you know, seek out others, to become part of our network of friends, our fellow authors, because we don't need them anymore because we know it all. And I don't know
The
about you,
only
I'll never know it all.
the only reason I would boot somebody out is their attitude.
Okay, yeah,
That's the only reason I would. If that's the only reason I would. My attitude depends on who you are, flat out. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. If you're rude to me, I'll be rude to you. I'm a Gemini. That's how I operate, flat out.
I have no clue.
I grew up. I grew up army brat, so I grew up learning people from the inside out, not from the outside in. And so I learned to look at people in their core. And to me, it's if you're rude to me, I'll be rude to you, flat out. That's the way I always am. But there are
And
some people
most people like that.
yeah. Generally speaking, there are people I do connect with more than others, flat out. But for the most part, if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. I don't care what you look like on the outside. I care about what's in your inside. If you're sweet to me, I'll be sweet to you,
Oh
flat
yeah.
out. When I usually go to a book show of any kind, or even the Comic Cons, I usually zero in on the authors. I'm like, what you got? Because I want to know what you got. Um, it's not a company. I have books from many authors on my shelves. I do have bookshelves back here, but I have like boxes of books signed by authors, uh, indie authors everywhere in this house. You can ask my husband, my poor husband. So I was like, did you really come back with more books? Um, I have every time I run into authors, I'm like, I need at least one of your books. It's not uncommon for me. Whenever, like I said, whenever I go to book shows, I'm always like, okay, what do you write? I want to know because if it's not what I write, I want to be able to send somebody your way.
Oh yeah.
I'm always promoting other authors. I'm always like, what do you got? Which is one of the reasons why we started this podcast. We wanted to be able to share other authors' works. One of the things we wanted to do is what makes yours different from another author. That's the highest point of networking. That's networking at its highest level.
Well, it's the networking aspect in my mind. If in my imagination, I look upon it like a scaffold that a painter would, that's either mudding a wall or building a wall, or painting a wall. They build a scaffold so that as they go up higher and higher, their platform covers, raises them up beyond what they've already done. And so I look upon the networking as that kind of scaffolding where every time you make a connection, you're adding that link,
Mm-hmm.
and over time, you're lifting yourself up a little bit higher, going a little bit higher, uh, and becoming more and more of a complete author. And I don't think anybody, uh, there, because of the times we live in, where it's so easy, especially with AI, to publish books. Okay, I don't think I can't think of any author, maybe you can, that started out and their first book was an instant uh, million seller, bestseller. They all had to start at ground level like everybody else and had to work their ways up to where they are now. And networking, in almost every case, has helped them reach, the height that they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Finding publishers, like you were saying, finding editors, finding illustrators, finding people who know of events that you can actually be part of. It's and the only thing, and I was going that I think is a little bit negative is what you said. There are some people who are in our author world that play all their cards close to the vest, like you're really not good enough, you know,
Mm.
to be part of their circle, their orbit, and they don't want to share any of their secrets with you, whatever those may be, because they look upon you as a competitor. And I hope I never end up like that.
Yeah, no, we've already spilled all of our secrets on this show. Look it up.
That's
You
true.
want a secret? Look it
Yeah,
up. It's here.
yeah.
It's here somewhere.
That cat's out of the barn. Yeah, you're right.
They're
So,
they're all over this internet on us. Our secrets are out.
it's too late.
Too late. They're all
I got
gone.
it on tape.
Pretty much. Yeah, no. Here's the deal: is we all want everybody to succeed, and flat out. If you're an author, we want you to get your story out. You were given the story for a reason. You got to get the sandbox to get it published and get it out there. And the deal is the written word is dying, and we want to try to keep it up and out there, and that's our goal. In order to do that, we all need to stay connected, and that's what networking is connecting with others and staying connected with others. And that's also part of networking, is also staying connected with your reader.
Right.
It's staying connected via social medias, it's staying connected, in Comic-Cons, in book shows, and it's all connected. When I used to go to those book shows and stuff, if I sold books, great. To me, part of that is also the networking.
Meeting other people. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it was twofold. Was I able to sell books? Yeah. Awesome. But was I able to connect?
Oh yeah.
That was crucial for me. And so it was a twofold mission whenever I went out there. And so, both had to succeed. You could sell books, but that stops. You had to keep the connections, and the connections is what kept you out there.
You make good friendships that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And those hopefully last a lifetime. And,
Definitely.
And may not have anything to do with writing, may not have anything to do with publishing a book, but you can't put a value on those kinds of those relationships with friends.
Exactly. I know ours has lasted 10 years?
Yep.
Are we feeling old yet?
We spilled all our secrets, so
It's okay. We'll spill more. It'll keep coming. Okay, guys. Next week we have Keely Mahaffey, and she actually owns Get Fictional bookstore down in Conroe, Texas, where they make candles for books. And we'll be talking more about her next week. I'm super excited to have her on the show, and we will catch you guys next week, 4:00, same time, same station. We'll see you.